There's a monster under my bed, and at my window there's a dragon. I accepted the challenge, it turned me into a savage. I broke a promise to myself again. I don't know why I am so vulnerable. They try to help, but I won't let them in. I guess rock bottom's where I'm comfortable. Both my feet planted when most people would've panicked. I embraced the storm. I found beauty in what was damaged. I'm not afraid of a boogeyman. Instead, I look at him like he's a friend. There's not a monster out there in the world.
Keep losing all my stuff. I'm trying to get it together.
There's a creature in my closet. I can hear him rumbling around. The demon screaming in the distance creates such a humbling sound. The monster that's outside my window, he's like family to me now. The things that people are afraid of never let me down.
Not to say this no, but I'm hated so. My religious freaks say I'm the biggest beast and that I made it grow. When I spray this flow, I created mo. Creatures are like when I heat up the mic, I'm a breed of the night, but I'm faded.
Welcome everyone. Grab your coffee.
I'm binded, I sparked it and shined it. They find it cause mine is whoa. But that they label me a demon seed. Wanna disable Nina, see them bleed. Hinder me fatally and see them grieve, no. You would not believe the creature inside me. If you deceive, Khalifa's lively. We disagree when people defy me or try to take his. Whatever the fuckery taught them, you don't wanna wake this. You forsake his, what is sacred, then it's over. No matter what your faith is, I'm a creature.
There's a creature in my closet. I can hear him rumbling around. The demon screaming in the distance creates such a humbling sound.
Grab your coffee, grab your snack.
That's outside my window, he's like family to me now. The things that people are afraid of never let me down.
Yeah, I managed to get myself in trouble, all of this pain. Yeah, I'm damn in the double dose of liquor's always to blame. If I could keep myself sober, I keep my hands to myself. I take a shot and it's over, that's how I end up in hell. I hope I don't pass it down to my offspring. They get everything from their daddy, feel like I'm addicted to all things. There's no reason to change, gone too far now. I'm stuck in my ways, back at the bar now. They say I'm a flirt and they right, I ain't perfect, alright. So when I'm thirsty and perking and purposely searching for something that's hurting me so I just can't pack up and go, I just back out of it slow. That's how it go, I like to back out the hole. When next like I don't know. Okay. I think he be laughing at me, hands be grabbing at me. Feel like God let it happen to me, dab it blasphemy. And these be a tab it naturally. Okay, yeah. I think I better let it go. Either that or I gotta let it know. And I can't do that.
There's a creature in my closet. I can hear him rumbling around. The demon screaming in the distance creates such a humbling sound. The monster that's outside my window, he's like family to me now. The things that people are afraid of never let me down.
What's up, everyone? Just let me see here. I might have to do one more thing before I get it together here. Let's see. What's up, Tracy, Kimmikins, Peach, Raindrop. We got Kimmikins. Let me see who else is here. Got a lot of background noise. Something's going on with Popo in the hood, you know. Kind of distracting me. Or, maybe they're coming for me. It isn't Wednesday, though, so I should be safe with the law. What up, Six Banger? Let me see here. I might have to play you some music while I go grab something. I don't think I have any clips long enough. I have some classic things, but let me try to play something nice here. I got one more thing to do before I start. And I might change what I was going to do. I'm not sure yet. I got a couple different options. You know, yeah, the birds now, but I started a little late because there was so much background noise, like a lot of popo and everything. There's been a lot of action around here. You know, I was driving home from the beach the other day and I saw 2 cars on the side of the road and a bike that was crumbled and another biker, you know, and they were cyclists and they were young. So I stopped, pulled over and I actually called Dad in. You know, I felt horrible to see that. But the boy was okay that was on the bike. But obviously it's very scary when you see the first thing I saw was the 2 cars and the bike just completely folded. So I thought, you know, I was pretty worried for the person on the bike at first, but I did see him, you know, kind of sitting on the ground waiting. So I knew they were okay. They didn't need like, you know, emergency. At least on the outside, it looked like the scene was okay. But you know, I still called it in because it had just happened. I feel like it happens to me a lot. I always come upon these scenes where I have to call them in. You know, I don't know. It's like a thing that always happens. Let's see. I should just put them on. You know, have it ready to call. Let me find a little song here. I just have to check on one thing that I forgot. There's always something with my ADD, but I got all my other stuff ready to go, so there's that. I am going to just play a little background music for a second. My coffee's all ready. Y'all get yours. I will be right back. Just enjoy this music for a minute. See you in a second. There's a couple different options for stories, but yeah, I'll be right back.
When I was in the 3rd grade, I thought that I was gay, cause I could draw. My uncle was, and I kept my room straight. I told my mom, tears rushing down my face. She's like, Ben, you've loved girls since before pre-K. Trippin'. Yeah, I guess she had a point, didn't she? Bunch of stereotypes all in my head. I remember doing the math, like, yeah, I'm good at Little League. A preconceived idea of what it all meant. But those that like the same sex had the characteristics. The right-wing conservatives think it's a decision, and you can be cured with some treatment and religion. Man-made rewiring of a predisposition, playing God. Oh nah, here we go. America the brave still fears what we don't know. And God loves all his children. It's somehow forgotten, but we paraphrase a book written 3,500 years ago. I don't know.
And I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. And I can't change, even if I tried.
If I was gay, I would think hip-hop hates me. Have you read the YouTube comments lately? Man, that's gay, gets dropped on the daily. We become so numb to what we're saying. A culture founded from oppression. Yeah, we don't have acceptance for them. Call each other faggots behind the keys of a message board. A word rooted in hate, yet our genre still ignores it. Gay is synonymous with the lesser. It's the same hate that's caused wars from religion. Gender to skin color, the complexion of your pigment. The same fight that led people to walkouts and sit-ins. It's human rights for everybody. There is no difference. Live on and be yourself. When I was at church, they taught me something else. If you preach hate at the service, those words aren't anointed. That holy water that you soak in has been poisoned. When everyone else is more comfortable remaining voiceless rather than fighting for humans that have had their rights stolen. I might not be the same, but that's not important. No freedom till we're equal. Damn right I support it.
All right, I'm back here. Just get my tabs ready.
Even if I tried,
It's Macklemore. It's one of my favorites. Thank you. Sometimes, yeah, okay, let's get back to this. So this, if I do this one, this is like severe trigger warning. I came upon this recently. I was going to do this Friday, then, a couple over the weekend, and then stuff kept happening. I did the beach instead, but I found it. I came upon it and I was just like stunned that I hadn't heard about it, but it looks like some of you have heard about it. And the timing of this is great because I was going to do it, like I said, Friday. And then I thought I would have time to do it Sunday, Monday, stuff kept coming up. And then I'm thinking to myself, this is some great timing because Traders just had her live about tragedy pips. And like I said, I'm sort of in a transitional phase. So it's not like I'm not trying to be true crime. It's just, I'm going to come across things on YouTube. They could be funny. It's going to be pretty random. And I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of finding things and sharing it with you. So this whole story already happened. Looks like a year ago. This woman was arrested June 18th of 2023. So it just came up because she had court, and that's why I found it. And so I went back and looked into some of the history of it, and I was just stunned. Yeah, pretty stunned. And then in my search, I found there's other mothers like this that have done similar things, and it just blows my mind. I can't imagine. I don't know what gets into people's heads that make them think or act like this or have no empathy or feeling towards their children. It makes zero sense to me. Was that me that just popped up? Yep. So my other avatar just popped up in the backstage, so that just threw me off. Let me know if it gets too noisy. Hey, Curiosity. So I can proceed if y'all want to hear about it. I just want to make sure it doesn't, make sure there is trigger warning in the chat and that everyone's prepared that it does involve a young child. And I don't want to make anyone upset or anything like that. That was Macklemore. Let me see here. Whoops. Macklemore featuring Mary Lambert, One Love. Let me go back to my comments. Hey, Daniel Barry. It did go through quick. So some of you know about it. It's this Ohio woman. Her name is Candelario. And I just want to, again, make sure that everyone's prepared. Trigger warning and all that. Maybe somebody can post it and I can pin the comment, actually. Oh, I can do that, actually. I just have to go to the YouTube side if I do that. Let me do that real quick. I just don't know what could possess somebody to do what she did. I'm shocked. I can't believe I hadn't seen anyone talk about it. Not that I can recall, anyways. I'm just trying to do my little trigger warning, but I have to go to the YouTube side to make sure I can pin it. I wish you can pin things on the StreamYard, but you can't. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Let me just go to Are you able to pin things, Chaotic? Or does it have to be me? Because I have to go to the other side. Open that in my phone. I didn't know if it lets you do that with your status. Your status. It's okay. Let me go to the StreamYard. Get out of StreamYard for a second. Go to the YouTube side. You can okay, because you're in StreamYard too. It's okay. I'm on the YouTube side on my phone. Just took a minute here. And then maybe y'all can just post it occasionally so people know, when new people come in, because I don't want to trigger anyone or anything like that. Because this isn't for everyone, of course. Okay, that's pinned. And I'm going to go back to the other side because I do stuff on my phone. I use the phone and the computer at the same time, and I'm kind of in a pattern of that. So I'd like to have that all prepared. There I am. Ooh, sound. Test. Okay, sorry, I had to reconnect. I got the echo because I had to go to the YouTube side, just pin a comment, and then it makes your earbuds disconnect. Well, at least these ones it did. All right. So, the first tab that I'm going to play, the first clip, this kind of is like an overview, and it's when the police call first happens to her house, and she makes up a story, of course. I'm going to make it larger. And they give a pretty good rundown, but I have a series of clips here. So I'll play this one first, and I can stop it here and there to comment, or if anyone has a question.
What's the last 6 months you deal with? Who's the girlfriend? Yeah.
It's shocking video of an even more shocking crime when a 16-month-old Ohio girl is found dead of severe starvation and dehydration. All because the girl's mother left the toddler home alone for more than a week as she went on a Puerto Rican vacation.
You committed the ultimate act of betrayal, leaving your baby terrified, alone, unprotected, to suffer what I heard was the most gruesome death imaginable.
We're now hearing from Crystal Candelario herself.
So yes, you heard that right. This lady went on a vacation and left her young toddler in a playpen to Puerto Rico. Nope, makes zero sense. And actually, after the Puerto Rican vacation, when she was done with Puerto Rico, she went somewhere else. I'll let you know in a second. I wrote that down too. So she stopped different places, and still, she could have called somebody.
The day her daughter was pronounced dead.
And when I see her, I see.
Hey, Renee. This story, I just started it. It's like pretty much a trigger warning. This woman went on vacation, and she left her toddler, home alone for over a week. Over a week.
Like a really, really dry, like a, ¿cómo se dice cuando una persona?
So this is the actual body cam footage. That is the woman. That's Crystal Candelario, and I just want you to take note of her demeanor. So this is the police in her home when they were called, and just notice how she's very calm when she's talking about her baby. I would think most moms would be hysterical, because she's gonna make up. You'll hear the stories she makes up.
Se chupa, o sea,
kind of like.
Yeah.
Kind of like. Oh, like her face was sunken in.
So, yeah. Y ahí fue que yo me asusté.
Body camera video shows she lied to investigators. She woke up to find the girl already dead.
What time was
like a purple? I said, okay. Oh my God.
But investigators later determined she'd been on vacation for more than a week.
I know.
And the girl was dead for days before her mother returned.
Based on the evidence that we've discovered so far, we have been advised by the prosecutor to place you under arrest for child endangering children.
Last month, 32-year-old Crystal Candelario was sentenced after pleading guilty to aggravated murder.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Jaylene Candelario.
This tragedy should have never happened. I am Sergeant Gomez from the Homicide Unit. The entire Homicide Unit, Cleveland Homicide Initiative, and our partners from the FBI are here today in honor of baby Jaylene Candelario. When we were first notified of this horrific case, we were all heartbroken. But when we started digging deeper into the investigation, it was beyond horrific. It was revealed that the defendant, Crystal Candelario, left her own child alone for hours, which led to days, which led to weeks. This 16-month-old baby was left alone in a pack and play to fend for herself for 11 days with no food, maybe milk, the clothing she had on, and the diaper she was wearing. This baby loved her mother. She needed her mother, and her mother betrayed her.
The case begins on June 6, 2023, when Crystal left 16-month-old Jaylene alone at their home in Cleveland, Ohio. Crystal visited both Detroit and Puerto Rico.
No, I can't. And all the officers and everybody else were pretty hard. You know, obviously they're traumatized. And in the trial, you can tell.
Before returning home 10 days later, Ring camera video captures baby Jaylene's cries just 3 days after her mom left.
Oh, man. I think I have to skip this part because I actually don't want to even hear it. I'm going to try to fast forward it because this is about, I think this is 3 days into it. And so the Ring camera, you could capture the cry, and I don't want to hear that part. If I got to skip it because it's already horrible enough. Yeah, I can't do that one. I already heard it. It's terrible.
Lifeless body. The girl was emaciated, weighing only 14 pounds. Body camera video shows officers.
She didn't even
arrive
look
on the
upset
scene.
when she was in the chair. More body cam. Well, I have one of the neighbors' interviews right after this already set up. They didn't know. They didn't hear it. Location-wise, she was upstairs in the mom's bedroom in a pack and play.
What's the last time she's dealing with? Who's the girlfriend? Yeah.
These same moments are caught on camera by another officer.
So those are the police on the scene, and they're already saying, like, to each other that she's been gone for, you know, they can tell it's been a while. The mom is saying it happened this morning.
Charlie 157.
Yeah, that could be Bree. That could be. And also one thing may be that the body cam the Ring camera picked up that crying at the time that it did is because the whole neighborhood was still at that time, and that might be the only time that they heard it. You know, where the whole neighborhood's stuff's going on, because that was at nighttime that they captured that. Okay, now I have more police in the background.
As other investigators arrive at the home, we get a glimpse of Crystal for the first time.
Now
Can I have your name, please?
Yeah.
Note her very calm demeanor, allegedly when she just lost her baby. See how she's just sitting there with her phone in her hands?
Crystal, K-I-I.
Oh, she went off to party in Puerto Rico. She met one, I think there were other friends there, not just a male. But then when after Puerto Rico, I believe she went back to Detroit and she spent some time there too.
S-T-E-L.
What is the child's name?
Jaylene, Jailyn. And my last name the same, Candelario.
They're in the backyard.
Okay.
Jaylene Candelario.
They probably were used to it if they heard anything. That could be. It doesn't appear it was an isolated incident either, because during the trial it did come out. I wrote it down here somewhere. There was another time with the Ring. During the trial, they showed a clip of the Ring camera showing her leave another time for 2 days. So it seems like she probably did this whenever she felt like going out or something, you know, because let me see here. Yeah, because I wrote down on 6/4, 6/4 to 6/6, she left. She was gone for 2 days. So she has a history of leaving the baby for lengths of time, you know, and it was reflected in the Ring camera during the trial once they did the investigation. There were definitely other times that she did this. This just was the longest time. She's never getting out.
This is mine. I like that she has my wife is writing, so she has a lot. So she requested that you come. I requested that you come.
Look at how calm she is.
As one officer speaks with Crystal, several others outside discuss what happened.
No emotion, no crying, not upset.
A lot of the info. I was doing the crimson line, but what I heard, she was upstairs and she was found dropped off.
Very calm demeanor, appearance-wise.
And he's gonna come. What the body gonna do? Homicide gonna put the body in the back of the car? I mean, they both take a long time to get. What did they say?
She is evil.
What did they say? So she speaks Spanish. So she told Kristen that yesterday the baby was crying a lot. So the whole week the baby was eating or whatever. Yesterday she was crying a lot. She was having stomach pain. So she cried herself to sleep. And mom put her in her bed in the crib. And mom woke up this morning to check on her and found her unresponsive and carried her downstairs. But the EMS said she's been dead for a while.
Whenever you're done assisting, can you check out that 911 email?
EMS said she's been dead for a while. A few hours at least. They don't look like a fresh.
They don't.
No, she made up for. I mean, I ain't said been a week, but she's been gone for a few hours though.
This is a long crime legal alert. Google
I don't get
Incognito
this.
tracked users' browsing data without their.
So I have YouTube, the one that I pay for, so I don't get commercials, and now it looks like they're embedding them into it. See that? See that? Oh no, nope.
Let's hear from Crystal for the first time on body camera video.
So, but in the last week, she get a vomiting too. Remember right now, you mentioned the vomiting. She get a vomiting the last week, Monday and Tuesday, two times. But I was trying controlling because I know I give to her Tylenol or something, for controlling the vomiting.
So you heard her. She stated on Monday and Tuesday the child was vomiting, and she gave her Tylenol to help control the vomiting, which that's not what it's for. But she was not even home. It will later. She wasn't even home Monday and Tuesday, so that's a lie. She was on vacation. Hello, Donna. Donna, this is pretty sick and definite trigger warning. It involves a child. If you catch part of the replay, if you have a chance, it's pretty horrific. Just something I came across that I couldn't believe I hadn't heard about yet.
Crystal tells investigators Jaylene had been sick earlier in the week on June 12th and 13th. But according to investigators, she wasn't even in Ohio at the time.
Nope.
So the story she tells on this recording doesn't add up.
Last night she was crying a lot. And I see one moment when I was take a shower, and she was screaming like, I don't know, probably she get a pain.
Okay.
Maybe.
Crystal says she woke up to find Jaylene's face purple, and that's when she called 911.
In this morning when I wake up, I took her in the morning for Jaylene, wake up, and she wake up, and when I see her, I see she looks like a really, really dry, like a, ¿cómo se dice cuando una persona se chupa? O sea,
kind of like.
Yeah.
Like her.
There's a bit of a language barrier, but she's still calm.
Okay.
I know. I'm sorry, it's not for everyone.
And what time was like a purple. I said,
oh, you know about it, Donna?
And that was what time this morning?
In this morning, when I called to emergency, I don't remember.
So I just found this sometime towards the end of last week, and I was just shocked that I hadn't heard about it.
At the exact time, but maybe
yes, Kimmy
8 a.m.
Okay.
Big time for the morning, yeah.
Crystal then transitions to Spanish, but a translator explains.
And she would always sleep in the playpen at the end of the bed?
Sí, siempre duerme, por eso le ponemos colchitas ahí, pero ella ayer, como le explicaba al oficial, ella era de un carácter así que lloraba y explotaba, así tiraba todo, y entonces ayer ella estaba así, yo la agarré y le digo, calma, estaba muy inquieta.
She says that, she normally sleeps in the playpen.
you know, the playpen, she puts like blankets and things like that to kind of cushion it.
Okay.
She says the baby last night was very, you know, wouldn't stay still. You
Sure,
know,
lady.
like if something's bothering.
Yeah.
You know, como si algo le estaba molestando.
Como que eso le explicaba él, como que si algo le dolía o algo.
Yeah, almost like she was not like herself, like
Yeah.
something was bothering her maybe or something.
Later, investigators speak with Crystal's aunt, Olga Torres.
Do you know of a hired babysitter? Of someone that's hired to babysit when her mom is not available to babysit?
That I don't know.
For instance, when she, now that your sister's in Ecuador, since how long has she been in Ecuador in my life?
So this is Crystal's aunt. They have a little bit of estrangement.
They will be, today's the 18 days.
18 days. So she left on the first?
Yeah.
Okay, and everybody left on the first?
Yeah.
Your
My
sister, her husband, and the daughter?
Yes.
The 7-year-old?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So on days that she has to work, you know, or any other days, who would babysit now that they're in Ecuador?
That I don't know.
Do you know of anyone that
No.
she's hired?
No.
Okay.
No.
Makes no sense. Why?
That is, it's not her relationship with me is not the best.
Okay. Okay.
So
I appreciate your honesty.
So
I'm
with
sure others would have watched
trying to
her.
avoid issues in the family, problems with, you know, if I get involved in anything, she
And even so, even if this was something she couldn't handle and didn't even want to have, there's options, there's places, there's numbers you can call. You know, Child and Family Services, anything. Call someone.
will get a legal upset.
Okay.
The
And my
dad.
sister says, you know, just
Let me see if I wrote anything
within
down about
goal,
that.
back off, you know. She's my niece and I love
I
her.
haven't
to
heard anything
death,
about a dad.
And I want the best for her. But if she doesn't allow me to help her or give her advice.
You know, Doohickey, there was nothing about a father in the trial that I can recall. I watched the whole thing.
Okay.
You know, so those issues, you know, everybody has in their family.
There's plenty of people that would have
And then
took
I
care
just
of her
look for the best for her, but
or wanted her if
doesn't
she
allow
didn't.
me to.
Gotcha.
You know, so since her parents left, like she had built that wall between us.
Gotcha.
What did he say? What did he hear? What did he hear happen?
He said, you know, Janine passed away. I said, what? I said, no, it cannot be. I said, are you sure? And he said, yes. So after that, I got numb, you know, you feel this funny
Shocking.
feeling.
Yeah, it was shocking. Yeah. So,
but I said, what happened? What do you know? So he says, I don't know a lot of details.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't
Oh, you
know.
did.
So
He didn't come up in the trial.
She told me what happened. She told me that Janine was sick. She said maybe something wrong with the milk. She was throwing up. And I said, but were you into the
Plenty of people want a baby.
did she go into, at what point she discovered the baby that day?
Yeah, she said Friday at 7:00 in the morning, 7:30ish. And that's when she
7:30-ish?
called the paramedics because
Did she say what she was doing prior to?
she said she wake up and then she said the baby was with her eyes kind of like looking up like kind of funny. And then she grabbed the baby and then she called 911 because she said she was not reacting. She was like you know, one of those dolls that they're kind of clumsy like that. Yeah.
At that point, investigators explained that Crystal is going to be arrested.
We're going to place her under arrest for child endangering.
What is that?
Basically, what that
Explain to
means
me.
is child endangering is basically you either neglecting your child in some kind of way. You know, and this is the early stages of our investigation. So we still have a lot more to do.
Right.
But for right now, she's going to be placed under arrest for endangering children, child endangering children, same thing. You know, there's a special responsibility that you have as a parent to provide care to your child. And at this point, all of the evidence is showing that wasn't done. We respond to every child fatality. Every time there's a death that involves a child, we respond to that. And we investigate it. Okay. And sometimes we get evidence right away. Sometimes we get evidence. It takes a little bit for us to get evidence. Based on the evidence that we've discovered so far, we have been advised by the prosecutor to place you under arrest for child endangering children. You'll have an opportunity to give your side of the story approval downtown, you can tell us if you want to talk to us. I'm more than happy to listen to what you have to say. That'll be your opportunity to tell us exactly what's happened here, okay? And then from there, we're gonna go to your house, but we gotta use the key, then bang on the door and damage the door. And then we're gonna take this car as well.
Yep. Selfish.
Just put your hands behind your back for me right now.
But even so, like when she was having fun and partying, once she got there, like it never occurred to her, like she never had any guilt. Like, oh my God, I better call someone. That's the part I don't get. And even after returning from Puerto Rico, she still was hanging out with another male friend. It just doesn't make sense. She could have done something. She still could have made a call. She could have called that aunt right there. Anyone. She had chances to stop it.
And we'll explain more. You'll have a chance to talk down there.
I just maybe.
Again, the demeanor. If this is someone that just lost their baby and it was natural causes, wouldn't you think she'd be upset right now, displaying some sort of emotion after being arrested if you didn't do anything? No, she has no emotion showing. What up, Shark Bite?
Take your time.
Months later, at Crystal's sentencing, medical examiner Dr. Elizabeth Mooney said Jaylene's death was one of the most gruesome she'd ever seen.
Now, this part can be a trigger warning too, because they talk about she did have a great weight loss. The mom was gone, and I don't want anyone to. I know that some people already had to leave because it's too horrific to listen to. So I just want to give you a chance. If I play it right now, she's gonna give a little bit of the details. So there has to be something wrong with her. I don't know, Fluffy. There's got to be something wrong. So if she's gonna describe, this is the person who did the autopsy. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a chance if it's too gruesome.
Fortunately, this is one of the most tragic and unfortunate cases I've had in my career thus far. So today I speak on behalf of her and her findings with the course of my examination. We received Jaylene at the medical examiner's office from the scene of her residence, at which time she was clothed in non-soiled clothing, indicating her body had likely been dressed prior to first responders' arrival, as they had mentioned before.
Meaning, when the mom came home and found her soiled, she attempted to cover it up by dressing the baby. And again, I just want to give anyone a chance that just came in here. This part will get kind of very gruesome. So a definite trigger warning. Give you a chance to leave if you can't handle it, because it's pretty hideous.
So at autopsy, I examined the body of a very emaciated female toddler. At this point, she weighed 13 pounds. Upon review of medical records, this indicated approximately a 7-pound weight loss since her previous doctor's visit less than 2 months prior to that.
13 pounds. This toddler weighed 13 pounds. She lost 7 pounds since her last physician appointment 2 months prior.
The eyes were sunken and she had temporal wasting in her face. In addition, the skin showed markedly decreased turgor. When I pinch the skin, it remains in that tented position, indicating severe dehydration. In addition, there was abundant fecal material.
Oh, I don't trigger again. I'm sorry.
Present caked on the fingers, the fingernails, the hands, the feet, as well as the soles of the feet. The same material was found on her lips, which were very dry and flaking, as well as in her oral cavity, caked to her teeth.
Before her sentence was handed down, Crystal also addressed the
my
court,
Lord.
speaking through an interpreter.
I am not trying to justify
She had nothing to
my
eat.
actions.
Pero nadie sabe cuánto yo estaba sufriendo.
But nobody knew how much I was suffering.
I think I'll stop it there because I have a couple different options. And I want to play a clip of one of the neighbors that used to babysit, what they have to say, because I found this interesting. Again, this is an interview with some neighbors that have previously watched baby Jalen. Ooh, I forgot to change it. Share this tab. Let me start that over again.
Was always happy, always playing and smiling and laughing.
Pictures and happy memories. That's all neighbors have of 16-month-old Jailene Candelario.
I absolutely loved her. She was like a little sister to me.
Sulem and her mom Iris didn't want to show their faces. They said the first time they met Jailene was last August. They were supposed to watch her only a few days, but they said her mom didn't return for a month and a half.
They were supposed to babysit for a few days. She didn't return for a month and a half. Who the hell does that to their kid? A few days, she returns a month and a half later, right? Red flags right there. Who the frig leaves their kid that long? What the hell?
I was the one calling her, look, I need milk, I need money. I don't have no money to buy milk for you, baby. What am I supposed to do?
Fast forward to this month.
So she left this poor woman having to pay for diapers, for milk, for everything, and just decided to leave for a month and a half. Right there, I would have called. I would have called that in. That's something that you call DCF for.
And Cristel Candelario is charged with her daughter Jailene's murder. Court documents show the 31-year-old admitted to leaving her baby home alone June 8th while she went on vacation to Puerto Rico and Detroit. When Candelario returned home 8 days later, police say she found Jailene unresponsive.
We were absolutely heartbroken. We loved Jailene a lot.
Iris and Sulem wish Candelario would have asked them to watch Jailene.
I wish for her to pay what she did to her daughter.
Instead, they're left with an investigation and reminders of Jailene's many visits.
Jailene really didn't deserve what happened to her. She was amazing and really adorable, and I miss her a lot.
That's how I feel, jaded. I don't even like to leave my dog. Is there any more there? Let me see.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow.
Okay, let me see. So then, let's see how I have set up. Okay, I'm not going to play that yet. So I have a couple options. I can play highlights from the trial, which would be the parents of Crystal Candelario. They came to speak, and they're from Ecuador, so they actually needed a translator. I can play the clips of what the parents had to say. I can play what Crystal said when it was her turn to speak in court, and then I can give you what the judge says. So I got those 3 highlights lined up because the whole trial, let me see what that. The entire trial is an hour and a half. I can certainly link that, but I could just, if you'd like to just hear the highlights, I can do that, which would be, again, the parents, Crystal's turn to speak, and then the judge in what he has to say to her. So I kind of wanted to leave that option up to you because I didn't think anyone wants to listen to the whole hour and a half trial, but I mean, you certainly could. So I'm leaving that option up to the chat, or you can just put highlights if you should play the highlights. Let me see. Let me see how long the highlights are. Yeah, so the parents speaking is 15.5 minutes. Then the Crystals is 4 minutes. And then the judge is 10.5 minutes. So that's still, those are the clips of those highlights. Yeah. And then I can also link. That's what I could do. I'll put that in the chat. So at the very end, when I end this, I'll put the whole trial and you can go back and watch it. But I figured I'd play, that'll sum up those parts because it's it is pretty long and it's probably, it's tough to hear some of these details. And I know already it wasn't for, some people, it's not for them. So let me play the parents first, what they had to say when they came to the trial.
Good morning. Good morning.
I'm going to ask, would you like to go first then? Can I identify yourself?
Yo solo voy a hablar.
She's just gonna
Yo
talk.
solo voy a
He's just here.
Okay, okay, got it.
He va a hablar de este
No,
tema,
Luis.
¿cierto?
Yo.
Can you please say your name?
¿Va a indicar su nombre?
Katie Torres. ¿Mi nombre?
Katie Torres.
And can you spell it for the record, Robert?
Puede deletrear de K con K, ¿sí? K-A-T-I-Y, ¿cierto?
K-E-T-T-Y.
K-E-T-T. K-E-T-T-Y. ¿Y Torres con S o?
Con S.
Torres, T-O-R-R-E-S.
Oh, whoops. I think I just changed it by accident. My bad.
Clever Candelario.
¿Cómo?
Clever Candelario.
Clever Candelario.
Él no
Clever.
escucha bien. Él no escucha bien. Tiene un problema de audición.
This gentleman has a hearing problem.
Okay.
I also wanted to say that this trial just happened in March. So this literally just happened, and like I said, I hadn't heard about it, but this whole, thing happened in 2023. So this, close to a year ago.
Okay. Clever con C.
Con K.
Con
K-L-E-B-R.
K-L-E-V-E-R. ¿Y el apellido?
Candelario con C.
Candelario. Same as the.
You good? Yeah, all right, good.
Okay. Bien, señor. Frase por favor.
Excelentísimos jueces de la corte.
Honorable judge of the court.
Con el corazón partido en 1000 pedazos.
Who you see smiling? Are you talking about the interpreter? The guy with the clipboard's the interpreter. I didn't notice.
With my heart ripped apart in 1,000 pieces.
Oh, I will, Tracy.
Pero desde el amor
I can even
y
text. I
sostenida
might be
por
able to
Dios.
text you.
Speaking from love and maintained by God.
Estoy aquí para decirle al mundo
I am here to tell the world
que mi hija salió de un hogar
that my daughter came from a home
donde se creó una relación de humanismo,
where there was relations of humanism,
valores,
values,
creencias,
beliefs,
afectos,
emotions,
calidez,
warmth,
donde lo más importante era la familia.
where the most important thing was the family.
Kristen creció y se
Doesn't seem like she picked up any of those values.
formó
Crystal grew up and was educated
en un ambiente sano junto a sus padres.
in a healthy environment together with her parents,
Protegida y amada.
protected and loved.
Realizó sus estudios en nuestro país natal, Ecuador.
She studied and was educated in our native country of Ecuador,
Escogiendo la misma profesión de su abuelo y sus padres.
and she chose the same profession as her fathers and her grandfather,
La docencia.
teaching.
Sus años de edad adulta fueron marcados
Her years as an adult were marked by
por problemas de salud física y sentimentales.
both physical and emotional problems
Que no siempre terminaron de la mejor manera.
that didn't always end up in the best way.
Su salud emocional se vio afectada en más de una ocasión.
Maybe she's psychotic and they didn't pick up on it. I don't know. There's clearly there's got to be something wrong psychotically. I have no idea.
Her emotional health was affected on more than one occasion.
Pero entre trabajo, responsabilidades y el día a día,
But between her work, her other responsibilities, and her day-to-day life,
en un ir y venir, no logró priorizar la importancia de un tratamiento continuo.
in the middle of all that, she never ended up prioritizing or appreciating the importance of continued treatment.
por lo que la depresión y la ansiedad y el trastorno de neurosis de conversión fueron ganando terreno en su vida.
And because of all that, her depression, anxiety, her
Also, I want to let you know if this part goes on too long because there is an interpreter. We're at like the 5-minute mark and it's a total of 15 minutes. I can skip. Just let me know in the chat if you want to go to the next part where Crystal speaks and then the judge. That's fine by me too if it gets to be too long.
conversion neurosis disorder.
More than that.
All ended up consuming her.
Razón por la que siempre sufría desmayos y pérdida del conocimiento.
And as a result of this, she suffered fainting spells and also loss of consciousness.
Con esto no quiero victimizar ni justificar a nadie.
In saying this, I don't want to victimize or justify anyone.
Solo mirar el yo interior de quien hoy está aquí sentada y siendo juzgada.
I only want to give a glimpse.
Thank you, Tracy.
Of the interior person, the ego of someone who is seated here and who is being judged.
Señores, las enfermedades de salud mental no se reflejan en el rostro.
Ladies and gentlemen, the sickness, a mental health illness is not reflected
Ni
in
en
someone's face,
ni en una foto.
and also not in a picture, in a photo.
Nacen y se quedan en el alma.
It arises and remains in the soul.
But don't you think as grandparents, if you knew all this, wouldn't they be concerned for their grandbaby? You know, it depends how deep this history is and what they dealt with. I have no idea, what they dealt with her, but if they knew about some of this, I don't know. I feel like I'd be concerned. And the aunt was there in the area. And they had some relationship issues, but if that was my sister there, that was close to my child, I would probably try to get her to look in on the baby,
Solo un tratamiento a tiempo y eficaz con ayuda de terapistas y médicos ayudan a mejorarlo.
And only a timely and effective treatment by therapists and doctors can help to improve those conditions.
Mi hija no tenía calidad de vida.
My daughter did not have a good quality of life.
Porque ella no podía pausar el trabajo.
Your daughter didn't have a good quality of life? I think you should have left that part out of the script. Shit.
Because she couldn't stop working.
Your daughter?
Nunca nadie imaginó que este
How about your granddaughter?
sufrimiento terminaría en tragedia.
No one ever imagined that this suffering would culminate in a tragedy.
Y hoy aquí quiero decirle a Yailin
And here I'm.
que eres nuestro ángel, Yailin.
I want to say here before Jaylene, our angel,
Tu recuerdo vive en nosotros.
that your memory lives within us.
Siempre te amaremos.
We will always love you.
Te acuné en mis brazos.
I held you in my arms.
Tus abuelos nunca te olvidarán.
Your grandparents will never forget you.
Perdóname, bebé,
Forgive me
por vivir la oscuridad del conocimiento
for being in the dark
que me imposibilitó ver la luz y poder ayudar a tu
and for being
madre.
in the darkness that prevented me from seeing the light to see what was going on
Right,
with your
Donna?
mother.
Hija querida, cuánto te amo.
My beloved daughter, I love you so much.
Lamento y me arrepiento
I lament and I am
por no
so
haber
sorry
por no haber detectado lo que estabas viviendo.
for not having detected what you were going through.
No leí tu corazón.
I could not.
This is kind of frustrating, huh? Because she keeps talking about her daughter so much and not the granddaughter. You keep mentioning and can't believe what you've had to go through, but I find that kind of that's not right. What about the baby?
See what was in your heart.
No me percaté del caos
I didn't notice the chaos
por el que estabas atravesando.
that you were going through.
Lamento ahora, hija de mi vida,
You didn't notice the chaos what baby Jaylene was going through.
causarte este dolor.
I lament my darling daughter that I caused you this pain.
Señores de esta sala,
Your Honor,
pido misericordia,
I ask for mercy.
clemencia y compasión
I ask for mercy, for clemency, and for compassion
para un ser humano
for a human being
que ha librado una dura batalla.
Mercy and compassion for a human being. She's speaking of her daughter again.
En su vida.
that
Hey,
has
Jackie.
waged a very difficult battle in her life.
Y ruego no
Jackie, this one's a trigger warning.
satanizarla,
And I beg that you
señalarla.
Yeah,
I
Renee.
beg that you not demonize
You think a lot of that's guilt? I'm wondering if that's what that's about.
her and point the finger at her.
¿Quién en esta vida no ha pecado contra Dios?
Who in this life has not sinned against God?
Que levanten
Wow. Just
la mano quienes no lo han hecho.
Anyone
who in this life has not sinned against God? That's quite a drastic thing to say. I mean, no, we don't leave our kids for a week. It's not normal.
who hasn't let them raise their hand.
Pero como creemos en un Dios de amor y de bondad,
But since we believe in a
I would have to say the average person sins in different ways, but nothing like that. That's just no comparison to the everyday sins of man.
in a God of love and of goodness
en un Dios de perdón.
and a God of forgiveness.
Él está aquí con nosotros.
He is here with us.
Hija, te amo.
My daughter, I
Aquí
love
estaré siempre para ti.
you. We're here always for you.
Te voy a esperar toda la vida.
I'm going to wait the rest of my life for you.
Sí.
Thank you.
Do you guys still want to look at the rest of it? There's about 5 minutes because now it's Dad's turn. Just let me know.
Yeah. Un momento.
Señores excelentísimos
Hey, have
jueces
fun.
de la corte,
Honorable judges of the court.
estoy aquí consternado por todo lo sucedido,
I am shocked by everything that happened.
dándole apoyo moral y espiritual a nuestra hija.
And I am giving moral and spiritual support
Señores
to our
jueces,
daughter Crystal.
pido compasión, comprensión, empatía, misericordia para un ser humano que ha tenido una etapa
Imagine being the
de
judge
su
for this.
vida cargada
He did a good job. I will say
de
that.
mucho estrés y preocupaciones.
Gentlemen judges,
Las enfermedades mentales
Gentlemen judges, I ask for compassion, understanding, empathy, and mercy for someone who is going through a stage of stress and mental and emotional illness and worries.
Again, they're asking for mercy on a person that's going through mental illness. This is no comparison to regular everyday mental illness. She went on vacation and left her child to die. I mean, there's no comparison. They just keep speaking of their daughter, not the baby. Odd. Anything. She could have called.
Las
Even
enfermedades
when,
mentales
you know, Donna, everyone, even when she got to Puerto Rico, when she got to the airport, why didn't she even, it didn't look like in any of the vacation pictures that she was, you could have called somebody even there. You could have, you know, anything. She could have called all that time.
y emocionales no avisan.
Oh, she's
Mental
partying.
and emotional illness does not give warning.
Hey, Amy.
Cada persona es un mundo.
Each person is a world unto herself.
Y el mundo interior de mi hija
And the inner world of my
se
daughter
convulsionó.
was shaken
Sin darnos cuenta,
without our having realized it.
la depresión,
I'm sure they feel a lot of guilt.
la ansiedad,
It's just some of the wording. is a little off.
Depression.
La envolvieron hasta hacerle perder el juicio y la razón.
Depression and anxiety consumed her to the point of depriving her of good judgment and reason.
Aquí está mi hija Kristen, que también tiene un motivo
Sí.
para seguir adelante.
Here's daughter Crystal, who also has a motive to go forward with your help.
Con la ayuda de ustedes y esa razón,
With your help and with this motive,
se llama Amaya,
her name is Amaya.
que tiene 7 años
She is 7 years old
y espera ver a su madre
and she hopes to
y
see,
abrazarla
and she hopes to see her mom hug her very soon.
muy pronto.
Very soon.
Ruego a ustedes, imploro, perdón, suplico comprensión.
I beg for your help, forgiveness, and understanding.
Yeah, so after I'm done playing this clip, what I'm going to play is Crystal speaking next, and then the next clip will be the judge and what he has to say. I'll finish off with that.
Querida, recuerda siempre,
My beloved daughter, always remember
No, they're
que
from Ecuador.
nunca te olvidaremos.
that we will never
A Yailin,
We'll never forget Jaylene,
mi amada nietecita,
my beloved granddaughter,
que tuve en mis brazos,
who I held in
que
my
todos
arms,
los días tenía que yo amanecer cogiéndola a mi nieta,
that every
quien
day
extraño mucho,
we miss you very much,
profundamente.
very deeply.
Su imagen está
Yes, the
grabada
pond was
en
closed.
mi recuerdo.
I carry her image always within my memory.
Yailin es nuestra luz.
Jaylene is the light of our life.
Amaya es nuestra esperanza.
Amaya is our hope.
Te amo, hija.
I love you, my daughter,
I am lovely.
Hasta el final de mis días.
until the end of my days.
Y aquí estaremos esperando por ti.
And we will be here waiting for you.
Que Dios te dé fuerza, valentía cada día de tu vida.
May God give you strength and courage
Gracias.
every day of your life.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't think that's possible, Roberta. So, let's see. I think I must have dropped one of my clips that I had. Okay, here's Crystal. Here's her turn to speak. And then we have the judge. I had another clip. I must have lost it. I'm going to try to find it while she's speaking. That showed kind of what she was doing on vacation and stuff. So I got to try to find that. Oh, what happened? Oh, there we go.
Your Honor, good morning. Sorry. Hay mucho dolor que tengo con respecto a la pérdida de mi bebé Yailin.
There's so much pain that I have in regards to the loss of my baby, Jaylene.
Estoy muy dolida por todo lo que pasó.
I'm extremely hurt about everything that happened.
No estoy tratando de justificar mis actos,
I am not trying to justify my actions,
pero nadie sabe cuánto yo estaba sufriendo
but nobody knew how much I was suffering
y por lo que estaba pasando.
and what I was going through.
Todos los días le pido perdón a Dios y a mi hija, Yailin.
Every day I ask forgiveness from God and from my daughter, Jaylene.
Soy una persona creyente de Dios
I'm a person who believes in God.
y reconozco hoy que todos
Oh, hey, Southern Girl.
y todas, muchas ocasiones, somos tentados por
This
el
story is
enemigo.
pretty crazy if you just got here, Southern
And
Girl.
I recognize today that all of us are sometimes subject to the enemy.
Dios y mi hija me han perdonado.
God and my daughter have forgiven me.
Quisiera pedir perdón también a mi hija Amaya
I would also like to ask Amaya, my daughter Amaya, for forgiveness.
y a mis padres.
And I'd like to ask my parents for forgiveness.
No se imaginan cuánto yo era unida a mi hija Yailin y Amaya.
One can't imagine how close I was to my daughters, Jaylene and Amaya,
Y cuánto nos amábamos todas.
and how much we all love one another.
Extraño mucho a mis hijas.
I miss my daughters very much.
Hoy
That might be the clip.
nada puede
Play.
devolverme a Maya. A Yailin, perdón.
Now, I know that nothing can bring Jaylene back.
Y no pasa un día que no deje de pensar en ella.
And not a day goes by when I do not think of her.
Le pido a Dios que algún día pueda volverla a ver
I pray to God that one day I will see her again.
y poder retornar junto con Amaya, que es nuestra única esperanza el día de hoy.
And I pray also that one day I can be reunited with Amaya, who is our only hope right now.
Thank you, Susan. Your honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I think this is the clip I wanted to play.
I heard was the most.
I'm trying to find the clip I wanted to play before, but I don't want to play the same. Oh, I already played the law and crime one before I played the judge, but I could just play the judge. If I find that other one, I'll play that still. That's a different one. Okay, now we're going to go right to the judge. Now that's the part I'm confused about with the, she has a daughter too. A daughter of Amaya they were talking about. But I don't know who has custody of Amaya. Maybe Amaya's with the dad.
11A. The overriding purpose is to punish the offender and protect the public from future crime by this offender and others.
You choose, Southern
minimum
Girl.
sanctions that the court determines accomplishes this purpose without imposing an unnecessary burden on state or local government resources. I always have to consider the need for incapacitation, deterrence, rehabilitation, and restitution. The sentence should be commensurate with and not demeaning to the seriousness of the offender's conduct, its impact on the victims, and consistent with sentences for similar crime by similar offenders. Ms. Candelario, I am not sentencing you today based on your race, your ethnicity, your gender, or your religion. Do you understand?
Oh
Yes.
boy.
I sat here, listened, and I'm looking in the back of this courtroom, and I think of Dr. Mooney's statements to me, Sergeant Detective Teresa Gomez, and Detective Powell, and these three experienced, very talented, hardworking individuals all called this one of the most horrific cases they've ever seen. I look in the back of this courtroom and I see law enforcement, I see individuals who have worked on this case, who are here because it's also affecting and how horrific this crime is. It stunned people across this world because it defies one of the basic human responsibilities. The bond between a mother and a child is one of the most purest and most sacred bonds between human beings.
Not with her.
It's a relationship built on love, trust, and unwavering protection. Yet, in a shocking and betrayal of this fundamental trust, you committed the ultimate act of betrayal.
Drop the mic.
Leaving your baby terrified, alone, unprotected, to suffer what I heard was the most gruesome death imaginable. With no food, no water, no protection, and lying in her own feces. Ms. Candelario, you know the responsibility of parenthood. You have a child already. You raise another child. And I witnessed here before me your parents who showed you love and respect and education. And they came here to help you, to advocate for you, more than what you've done for your own child. The evidence that I've witnessed here before this court shows that this time you simply chose not to be here because you wanted to have fun. You decided you needed a vacation. And what followed was absolute depravity. You left your baby, Jalen, trapped in a pack and play without food and water for 10 days. This wasn't simply an oversight. You could have saved Jalen's life many times. You could have found someone to watch her while you were gone. You could have taken her with you while you were in Detroit or Puerto Rico. You could have called someone in Cleveland and told them that Jalen needed help.
Exactly.
Dr. Mooney indicated that rigor mortis was found when they found her, which means she didn't die that long before you came home. Think about that. Despite all of her suffering, that little baby persevered, waiting for someone to save her. And you could have done that with a simple phone call. Instead, I see photos of you on a beach while your child was eating her own feces. an attempt to survive. Photos mean something. And I'm well aware of mental health, but didn't look like you were too concerned about your child. As if that wasn't bad enough, you extended your stay in Detroit without regard to Jalen, alone, in pain, clawing her face in distress from the exhibits I just looked at, trapped in a tiny prison that you left her in. When you got home, you knew enough to start lying. You concocted story after story, trying to hide what you did. You even put pants on her, but you couldn't hide the absolute horror and filth that she spent the last days of her life in. You still didn't get it. I hear this morning that you went out and managed to go out.
This judge is not having it.
And he was too upset to eat, but you weren't. And then I hear that you're in jail and you're telling people, I can't wait to get home.
Not going to happen.
I look at remorse. I hear, except for the acceptance of responsibility, no remorse. As a court, I have to remember Jalen, where you did not. Just as you didn't let Jalen out of her confinement until she died, so too, you should spend the rest of your life in a cell without freedom. The only difference will be that prison will at least feed you and give you liquids that you denied her. Based on all these factors, based on all the things I've looked at, and I'm marking this as State's Exhibit 1 for the court of order.
He is not having it. That was excellent.
On count 1, aggravated murder. I'm going to sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole. On count 5, I'm going to sentence you to 8 years.
Now, can you guys hear me? Because I dropped my mic during that and I had if you heard a bunch of noise, half of my stuff fell off the table. I just want to make sure you can hear me, but just look at her demeanor right now. He just told her she's going to have life without the chance of parole. Look at her face. Nothing, no reaction.
Concurrent to count 1. I'm going to tell you, Crystal, this is probably one of the most difficult, horrific cases to listen to hear, and to see. And I can tell you that I appreciate the fact that the state of Ohio presented this matter in a professional way.
Nothing, no tears. Thank you, Roberta. Look at her face. You
have a right to appeal my sentence.
No
If you have
reaction.
the money or means to hire a lawyer at this time.
Thank you.
No. All right. I'll appoint I'll appoint a lawyer to represent her on appeal. And on the endangering children, because of the Reagan Tokes thing, it would be 8 to 12.
She actually does look somewhat confused. Do you see her eyebrows? You're right about that, Kimmykins. I was thinking that. She really thought she was getting out. Like he said, she's telling other inmates, I can't wait to go home soon. So are you on crack, lady? Go home.
That would
That
be
is your home.
concurrent with the aggravated murder, which is life without parole. Is there anything else, Mr. Smith, on behalf of the defense?
Nothing further.
Anything on behalf of the defense?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Court's adjourned.
She's a little shocked and confused, if anything. It's really strange. I think I had another clip, but I must have dropped it earlier, but I think I had this little spot on the interrogation and it showed all her tickets and everything. But I am going to, I'll play a little bit of this part and then I will drop the link for the full trial because I know some people want to watch it. Let me just play this a little bit first. Oh, the sound's off.
The officers, who at this point were unaware that she had been
Legit
out of
looked
town
confused.
since June 6th. They were primarily concerned by her calm manner just hours after finding her daughter dead, along with her descriptions of clear signs of physical distress in her.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier too. When in the body cam footage, she just looked. Her demeanor was very strange. She was just so calm and nonchalant. When you would think if something tragic just happened to your baby, you'd show a little bit of emotion, just a tad bit, perhaps.
Her daughter that necessitated medical intervention, help that was never sought. Consequently, they decided to take Crystal to the police station for a formal and thorough interrogation.
What time did you go to Detroit, Michigan on Monday? Monday morning? Okay. On Monday morning, what condition was Jaylene in? She was okay. She was okay? Was she awake, asleep?
Oh, thank you, Renee. That was sweet. Thank you very much.
You went there on Monday at what time? In the morning? Yeah. Okay. 7 early in the morning? Yeah. But when you left out, Jay was sleeping in that playpen? Okay. So.
Oh, is Ran here?
Go to Michigan. What time did you arrive?
Hi, Ran, if you're here. Oh, there you are.
So you get there, when you arrive there, who do you meet up with?
Yo llegué a un hotel, pero yo trabajaba de Uber, y me puse a trabajar directamente en Uber. She stayed at a hotel and she started working at Uber.
Uber?
You gotta go to Detroit, Michigan. You don't know what city, you don't know what hotel, you gotta come out with something better than that. No, pero el hotel donde él se estaba quedando, Superman. Where you were staying, not David, where you were staying. We're not talking about David. Superman, that's it.
Super 8? Yeah. I see you arrived 2 hours later, you stayed at Super 8, you mentioned something about Uber.
Yo estaba trabajando en Uber, sí. She was working Uber. Why would you go, hold on, why would you go work Uber in Detroit, Michigan? Instead of doing it here in Cleveland, where your daughter is?
Wow. She's really telling them she was working for Uber in another state? What the hell?
Why go over there? Not do it here. Why not do it here? Your daughter's here. Porque me iba a ver amistades también en Michigan. She was working some friends over there in Michigan, so she took advantage of the fact that she was over there to visit people. She worked over there. Pero no era siempre, pero así. But not always. That's not, she didn't do that.
Wow.
Don't take this the wrong way. At what point did you think that it would make sense to leave her here?
Yeah, she won't be in a bathing suit anytime soon.
No cuarto de la manera mal, pero ¿en qué momento tú pensaste que está bien? Por pasear, to travel, por pasear.
Why not travel with you?
¿Por qué no llevaste a ella contigo? Porque yo pensaba regresar el viernes y ya quedarme con ella, o sea, era algo.
She looks completely dumbfounded when they're asking, why wouldn't you not travel with her? And all the questions they're asking, she legitimately looks confused. Like, what am I doing wrong? You can't be this. I don't understand what's wrong with her.
She said because she didn't plan on returning on Friday and spending time on that. So
Oh, I am very much, Renee. That's a whole nother story. I did a couple shows on that, but it's like, I'm trying to be careful now because it's blown up really crazy. And I was getting upset earlier, yesterday. I mentioned it on a quick beach live about that, because there was so much going on with the picture, and it was in everyone's live, and it created such a commotion. But I'll talk about that in a second. I think I wanted to just show this because it showed some of her plane stubs. I think it's getting to that part.
Wasn't gonna stay in anybody's house.
But why not take with you if you know, you already knew that she had a condition going on at the time?
Si tú sabías que ella tenía una condición, estaba enfermita,
She needed
¿por qué no llevarla contigo? Porque por eso mismo, porque hacía por el trap.
Because she wanted to have a good time and
After
travel.
taking the time to investigate Crystal's inconsistent claims,
Very
detectives
much,
obtained
Renee.
overwhelming evidence, including ring camera footage of June 9th, which captured what they believed to be Jaylene's final cries.
Oh no, I'm not playing
Investigators concluded that Crystal had knowingly left her 16-month-old daughter home alone in a 2-by-3-foot playpen for 10 days without food or water while she vacationed in various locations. The autopsy's findings of starvation and severe dehydration as the causes of death corroborate this conclusion. According to the medical examiner, Jaylene most likely passed away sometime between June 9th and the 13th. Subsequently, Crystal was arrested on June 18th. A grand jury returned an indictment of aggravated murder, 2 counts of murder, 1 count of felonious assault, and 1 count of endangering a child.
Like a
Her
coffin.
bond was set at $1 million. The case moved quickly through the court system, leading to an initial trial date in January 2024, which a judge later rescheduled to February 26th. But 4 days before trial, Crystal was offered and accepted a plea deal. By agreeing to plead guilty to aggravated murder and 1 count of endangering a child, the other charges against her were dropped. Since accepting a plea deal meant no trial, sentencing was set for March 18th. At this hearing, Sergeant Teresa Gomez shared her reflections on the case.
So she can have an accurate spelling.
Okay, so that part is in the trial. Now let me grab the trial because that was the first tab I actually had. I'm going to post that before I forget. I know Tracy wants to save that. I have an update from something else that's a little not so, gloomy as this. But I want to put that in the chat first. This is the full 1.5-hour trial or sentencing. Yeah. I can also probably text that to you, Tracy, if that doesn't work. Where's that other? Do you guys remember? Let me find that tab. This is crazy. Do you remember when I did that little show on Dejuan Anderson, the woman responsible for that boy in the suitcase, the woman who murdered her son? She thought she was giving him some sort of exorcism or whatever, and people couldn't identify him for a while. Well, I had said I was going to, after that, she was set to have her a pre-trial and trial. The judge had set tentative dates, and she was saying she wanted to represent herself. So I have a short update on that. That was supposed to have already started, so now it's changed. And I'm trying to find that. I'm going to try to find that because I do want to. I think her trial is going to be something else to watch because she thinks there's aliens and different planets and Space Force are after her. And I don't know if you, so you do remember. So this is a little update on that.
The woman accused of killing her son, then hiding his body inside a suitcase in southern Indiana, is fighting her mandated psychiatric evaluation. DeJohn Anderson is accused of killing her 5-year-old son, Cairo Jordan, then dumping his body in Washington County, Indiana. After her initial court hearing, a judge asked for a psychiatric evaluation. Anderson plans to represent herself and is fighting that evaluation. She claims the evaluation is harassment and intimidation to cause a delay in her case. In handwritten documents sent to the court, Anderson wants her court-appointed attorney to be removed, claiming he's, quote, the grandson of Joe Biden, end quote. Last week.
She wrote the judge a letter. First off, she's supposed to have 2 psychiatric evaluations to see if she's, of stable mind to represent herself in court. Because it's going to be a shit show if she represents herself. So he just wants to make sure. So he put a backup lawyer on standby, and she's fighting that. She thinks she's being harassed, and she thinks the lawyer appointed is the grandson of Joe Biden. That shit was too good not to share.
The Washington County Judge Larry Medlock ruled before that she can represent herself. She must pass 2 psychiatric evaluations. Anderson was supposed to be in court on Thursday, but that has now been pushed off to.
It was supposed to be April 25th. The pretrial was supposed to be at 9 a.m. and with a tentative trial for August 6th. Judge Larry Medlock, but now I don't know. I have to look into it because I do not want to miss this trial. That shit was hilarious. Joe Biden. Let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, that's a whole nother case. So the one I just, kind of let you guys watch and everything, that's probably, I know a lot of people couldn't handle it, so I'm probably not going to be able to do the other one that I originally wanted to do, but I think, do you remember I texted, did you ever look into that, Chaotic? If that one's too traumatizing for some people, then I probably can't play the other one. I had that set up for another time, but I was still looking into some of that. I don't want to upset anyone because this one is already horrific enough. And it would have been more traumatizing if I had played the whole trial, I can tell you that, because there's a lot of details in there. And I had to fast forward the crying on the Ring camera because that was too much for me. Oh, you did? I'm sorry, I missed it. See, I suck at responding. What do you think? It's too gruesome? I mean, you can let me know here. So I'm not going to share any of that right now. It's just I keep finding these random things, and I'm like, I just want to, see if anyone's heard about it. Yeah, she's never getting out. Psycho. But I really am looking forward to the Dejuan trial. I don't know if I have anything else. I don't have anything else here. Let me see if I can find any more clips of that one. Dejuan. I really want to watch that. I don't think she'll be allowed to represent herself, but we'll see. Space Force. Well, that one's from a month ago. I think this is the one I played. Oh, I'm going to have to share it again once. A bit more. Yeah. I could always do a small group one or something. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Chaotic. It's just so odd. I forget, but I think I wrote it down. I'm going to have to look at my papers here. But here's a little memory of this case that I played a little clip of before. That's the upcoming trial I'm hoping to stream.
Mr. Seacat, would you bring out?
At least this one's
Ms.
funny
Anderson?
after that heavy thing.
Take her to the
Not what
witness
she
stand.
did, just her
Have her
actions, of
stand.
course. What she did, terrific, but she makes all kind of weird faces.
Take her to the witness stand. Have her stand there.
I'm going to have to play
Clause
this
number
again.
88 C01 2210 F1 833. State
She's
of
smiling.
Indiana versus Dejon Anderson. Miss Anderson, for the record, would you state your full name, please?
Yes, I am Princess Kalika Atonsu Papa II, representing the entity Dejon Anderson.
Princess Calivia something the second.
So you're known as Dejon Anderson?
I represent the entity of Dejon Anderson.
She's representing the entity of Dejuan.
And your date of birth?
My date of birth is February 2nd, 1961.
61.
That would make you how old?
That makes me 63 years old.
And the last 4 digits, your social security number?
I do not have a social security number. Declarations.
For the record, she's not 63. I think she's 38, but don't quote me.
Of nationality, underneath the Washington borders of the indigenous people of the United Nations, chapter 21593.
What's your address?
My address is 5320 Harmony Avenue, apartment 9, North Hollywood, California, 91602.
Do you have a good contact telephone number?
I don't know my contact number by heart. I believe it's 747-724-2222.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, including alcohol today?
No,
You read and understand the English language. If I say something you don't understand, will you let me know? Ms. Anderson. Officer Busick, who's investigated this and looked for you for the past 2 years, and Prosecutor Hunt have charged you with 3 counts of criminal conduct. Count 1 is murder as a felony, would indicate that between April the 10th, 2022 and April the 16th, 2022 in Washington County, state of Indiana, you did knowingly or intentionally kill another human being, that being child victim number 1, contrary to the form of the statutes in such cases made and provided by Indiana Code 35-42-1-1, parentheses 1, and against the peace and dignity of the state of Indiana. Count 2, neglect of a dependent resulting in death as a level 1 felony, would indicate between December the 1st, 2021 and April the 16th, 2022 in Washington County, state of Indiana, you being at least 18 years of age and having the care of child victim 1, a dependent less than 14 years of age, did knowingly place said dependent in a situation that endangered the dependent's life or health and which resulted in the death of child victim number 1. Count 3, obstruction of justice as a level 6 felony, would indicate that between April the 10th, 2022 and April the 16th, 2022 in Washington County, state of Indiana, you did alter, damage, or remove a record, document, or thing with the intent to prevent said item from being produced or used as evidence in a legal proceeding or an administrative or criminal investigation, contrary to the form of the statutes made in such case provided. The murder, a felony, has a range of imprisonment from 45 years to 65 years, with the advisory sentence being 55 years and up to a $10,000 fine. The level 1 felony, neglect of a dependent resulting in death, has a range of imprisonment from 20 years to 40 years, with the advisory sentence being 30 years and up to a $10,000 fine. And the level 6 felony has a range of imprisonment of no time in jail if it's treated as a misdemeanor to 2.5 years at the Indiana Department of Corrections, with the advisory sentence being 1 year and up to a $10,000 fine. Do you understand what you've been charged with?
I do understand.
Okay. And do you understand the potential penalties?
I do.
Do you intend to hire a lawyer, or is someone likely to hire a lawyer for you?
I don't have a motion for self-representation.
You understand if you do that, you are required to conduct yourself as a lawyer to be able to voir dire the potential jurors, to abide by the rules of evidence, to abide by the rules of procedure.
I do understand. I have a master's in history,
That doesn't give you a law degree, though.
but I do understand how to read procedures.
All right. All right. Just because you represent yourself doesn't ensure yourself of a good lawyer, you know.
That's a personal opinion. I understand.
Make your request in writing, okay?
I will. Can you give me at least just like 5 days?
I can certainly give you 5 days to do that. I think what my intention would be, let me ask you this. Can you afford a lawyer?
It's not that I can't afford a lawyer, it's that I want to do self-representation because I understand the nature of my case. And I understand that this is my life on the line. And I do understand that there are things that involve my case as far as the evidence that I hold, which is Q classified evidence, which should be turned over to Judge Advocate General Court immediately, if possible. because my case
Did you hear that? She has Q classified information.
involves other cases that are open currently with Judge Advocate General courts, as well as federal investigations that are open.
Well, if the Judge Advocate General approaches us, we'll address it at that point in time. How about I appoint you standby counsel? No, thank you. All right. You make your written request. I need to advise you, you have a right to a speedy public trial by jury in this county. You have the right to face all witnesses against you, see, hear, question, and cross-examine those witnesses. You have the right to have witnesses brought into court to testify on your behalf, and at your request, the court will issue subpoenas requiring those individuals to come into court to testify on your behalf or to bring evidence in. You have the right to have the state prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to remain silent. You cannot be required to give any testimony or make any statements against yourself to anyone. You do have the right to be heard in your own defense at any hearing or trial concerning the charges against you. Anything you say, however, may be used against you. Do you have any questions concerning your right?
She's alleging she was born in 61, but I do believe for some reason her age is 38.
No, I do not.
Okay. Then I will set this matter for a pretrial conference on the 25th day of April at 9 a.m.
Which
A
didn't
trial
happen.
date of the 6th day of August of this year at 8:30 a.m. and an omnibus date of June the 15th. Do you have any questions at all?
No, I do not have to.
All right. If you'll sign this reappearance slip, we'll discuss the issue of bond. Ms. Hunt, what's the state's position?
There's those pretty pink handcuffs.
Given the gravity of this case, first of all, I would like for you just to take judicial notice of the probable cause affidavit that the state filed in support of these 3 charges, which resulted in the arrest warrant. I'd
What's
also like
up,
to bring
Rosie?
the judge's attention, and it's almost a 2-year mark of officers locating this, at the time, unidentified little boy in the woods. So I would argue that the defendant has been a fugitive since that time. Her identification has been made. I think that raises any bond in a murder case to be something of the utmost importance and should be of an amount that should be very difficult, if not impractical, for her to be able to afford, or I feel she will be abscond from this court.
I wonder if she's doing it on
Been from
purpose.
Indiana. She's not
Yeah,
from
sure,
Washington
Peachy.
County, from my understanding. She was located in California. So on that reserve, I would leave that to the court. And if further motion is needed on the state's behalf, I will make that.
Thank you, Ms. Hunt. Ms. Anderson, you just made an objection.
Yes.
State the basis of your objection.
The rest of my objection is the fact that I am not a fugitive. I have been under NSA surveillance for the past 8 months. And how can
So she just said she's a fugitive and she's been under NASA surveillance for how many months?
that qualify me
8
as a
months?
fugitive on the run, when I've also had a detail from Space Force that was following my every move? When I
She's had a detail from Space Force following her every move.
contacted.
All right. Let me tell you, that is not a valid legal objection. If you want to represent yourself, you're going to have to learn the rules of evidence and the rules of procedure, because if you conduct yourself like this and make these types of objections, you have no chance in the world, lady. So objection overruled, but I will let you make argument in regards to bond.
Okay. So that's my argument is that I have been under surveillance by NSA for over 8 months. I also have a detail that follows me everywhere I go.
She just said that.
As in, I also contacted Indiana State. I think it was a federal marshal that I called to have my location tracked to pick me up. So there's no type of extent of me running where I need this astronomical bond on my charges.
Well, that's sort of interesting, because it's my understanding Officer Busick has been in touch with almost every one of those agencies, and they haven't been able to identify your location until recently. So I'm going to set your bond at no bond at this particular point in time.
I'm going to set your bond at no bond.
Comes forward and tells me that they're willing to monitor you, we'll take up the issue of bond at a later time. Anything else?
My favorite part is, I'm going to set your bond at no bond.
All right, we'll be off record at 1:44. You can, she's remanded to the custody of the Washington County
Oh,
Sheriff's
man.
Department.
I had to play something funny after that other
You're
thing.
welcome.
I had to review this again.
Oh, Sam, let me see if I can give you the right one. Kelly? Yeah, those are hers.
I remember she gets called back, but I don't remember. Oh, because he wants to give her a lawyer.
1 second. Go back on. All right. Based on what I've just heard, I'm going to ask someone from the Public Defender Office to be assigned to represent Ms. Anderson. If she files a written request and demonstrates that she has the ability to understand, to comprehend, and represent herself, I may ask them to withdraw or no longer require their services. But I think it's appropriate that someone from the Public Defender Office be assigned at this particular point in time. If private counsel is hired, they can withdraw. We'll be off record.
Oh, man. The reason I played that is because I was looking forward to another appearance this week, and it didn't happen. And I already played a short clip, but I think some of you might have missed it. Let me see if I can find it. Where'd it go? Oh, maybe it was here. Oh, man, now I lost it. Well, I already just played a short clip. She was supposed to be in court. She's written to the judge, and she feels that she's being harassed. Oh, where did it go? I wanted to play it again for those that came in late. Well, anyways, I played that first. It looks like I can't find it. She's written to the judge that she feels she's being harassed because she's supposed to have 2 competency tests, psychological exams, to see if she's capable to represent herself. And I think that's fair that the judge is doing that, considering what he just listened to, his own observations. It makes sense to me that she should probably have a psych exam or 2. I thought that appropriate. Anyways, and she feels that the public defender that was assigned to her is the grandson of Joe Biden, and she feels harassed. So if you missed that, I played it right before that. Can't make this shit up. Wish I could find it again. Oh, that's not what I want to play. Oh my Lord, you can't make this shit up. So anyways, I had written, before that happened, where did I just put my paper? Before I had found that, see, she had April 25th was supposed to be the pretrial at 9 a.m. and they set the potential trial for August 6th. So now I don't know what's going to happen, So all I can do is try to look into when their next court appearance is, because I think it's going to be gold. I do. So I definitely don't want to miss that. So all I can do is just keep looking out for that. And that's about all I got with that. Now, if anyone, I don't know, that was kind of long, but if anyone, depending on what y'all want to do or what's going on the YouTube streets, I could always have a panel. I like to have panels. I've just been doing this for something to do, random things that I find that I share with y'all, But I would probably do it in a separate live. So I don't know if I should make another live, just end it here. I don't know. I don't know if there's anyone else going live. Does anyone know of any lives set up, potential lives? Let me know in the chat. I don't know what else is going on. I don't know if anyone wants to come up and chat, but if anyone does, I will make another live and go live again. I just like to keep it separate. The panel lives from the lives that involve sensitive subjects, you know? And let me post that trial again. Let me see if I could do that for Tracy. I'd like to have it. Oh, because she's a little behind. I'll have to write to Tracy because she can't hear it yet. Just give me a second. Another live. I don't know if anyone has anything scheduled. I haven't been able to look yet. If you know of anyone that's going to be going live, please let me know. You don't see anyone else going live? Okay, let me see here. I might not have anything to talk about. I might not have any guests. I can try and then end it and delete it if it doesn't work out. Let's do that and wing it and see if there's anything to chat about. If not, I'll just go do like some laundry and other stuff. We can do that. So let me hit the end button and I'm gonna immediately start another one. I just want to keep it separate from this stuff, you know. If we end up doing panels and hanging out and all the other stuff, you know. So I'm gonna hit end right now. I'm gonna immediately make one. Just give me a moment and I'll see you in a minute.